Hello, in this episode, we're going to talk about a frequently asked question from our clients, which is how to build generational wealth through real estate. Join us as we discuss our journey and how we got started. This is Alva, broker with Exit Realty Four Corners, and since March marked Women's Month, what a better way to honor by bringing two strong ladies to our show. And here at Exit, we take pride in empowering female leaders. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Julia and Kathy. They both have a combined business experience of 20 years. Thank you, ladies. And now they have joined our forces and creating Sisters by Idea.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you for having us. We are so glad to be here today. And since we're discussing generational wealth, I have the perfect story. It has to do with my parents. And I don't know if you remember this, Kathy, but we grew up in East New York, Brooklyn, and our family happened to have three families under one roof. Now, under that one roof, our parents were able to save for their very first home in Queens, New York. And, you know, being a 13-year-old, I wasn't really thrilled about the whole moving thing. But little did I know at the time that was my parents' way of starting us off with a little bit of generational wealth.
That seems like a lifetime ago. Our parents were able to take that first home in Queens when they sold it. That funded our move to Florida, and they were able to purchase their new home in Florida and outright own it.
Now that we're talking about all of this, it reminds me that when I also came to the United States, my mom was able to buy her first home here, paid it off in 11 years. Nowadays, that home is worth 3 times her investment, which was a strong lesson as a single mom to pass it along to me and now to my kids.
Wow.
Well, that is an amazing story, Carol. And I have a great example myself. As you both know, my daughter last year just turned 18.
Yes.
And she had recently approached me, Mom, how do I go about buying my first home? Me being an excited mom plus realtor, you know, I right away called my investor and said, we need to schedule an appointment so you can have a conversation with my daughter. Sure enough, she learned that she can take a small percentage of her paycheck every week and start a moderate investment funds, which is going to help her build that foundation for her first home.
You got to start somewhere.
You definitely have to start somewhere, and there's nothing more important than investing into yourself and into your future. And you truly can never be too young to invest. When I purchased my first home, I was only 21 years old. And my husband and I, we actually, purchasing a first home wasn't even on our radar. We were looking into a rental property, and our families, our parents told us, why are you going to pay someone else's equity when you can invest in yourself? So from their guidance, we ended up looking into first-time homebuyers programs. And that first-time homebuyers program led us to purchasing our first home. And one of the most exciting things that I can say now is our home is worth 3 times what it was worth when we purchased it. And from there, we have the opportunity to upgrade into a larger home. We have the opportunity to downsize and outright pay that home, or we can pull the equity from that home and invest it into other properties. So we have a variety of options that we didn't have way back when.
That was a great advice from your parents. And a lot of people would say that the best time to invest was 20 years ago. I would say that the next best time to invest is now, as long as you learn how to do it correctly.
And you can easily invest now. There are many options, especially for our first-time buyers programs, that helps you with those closing costs and down payment assistance. It is amazing. I myself looked into a first-time buyers program. At the time, I was a single mom, and I had purchased my first townhome, which was a great investment. I was able to take that investment and build on my other investments. And there are so many options, from VA programs, government programs, bond programs, and it's just finding that right professional that you can sit down with and getting that information.
That's right.
People tend to think when you're talking about investing that it's on a large scale, but there are so many opportunities, and it doesn't have to be as large as a commercial property. And people tend to think, let's wait. But why wait when you can invest now and start building that equity.
That's a great point. And we got to start somewhere, like I mentioned before. In our case, we started at a lower scale. And I mean, our case, I mean, my husband and I, we were able to buy our second property, move into that one, and having the first property pay off for our two mortgages. And from there, we expanded our portfolio.
That's a really great point when we're talking about large scale versus small scale. There are so many opportunities out there to invest, to build generational wealth, and there's no one fits all. Everyone's opportunities are going to be a little bit different. You should never think that there's not an opportunity. Maybe it's just the process of getting started for you, and that's why it's important to get with your local realtor and sit down and talk about your options. What's going to be the right fit for you and your family.
Well, of course, you have so many different type of investors out there, whether they're cash, people who are using their primary equity on their primary home to purchase the next property, whether it's a rental, commercial. I've had clients, it's really about finding the right fit for you, because I have clients that use their investments to have rental properties. I have other ones that just like to flip and fix and not have anything to do with the management.
Correct. In my case, what she just mentioned, that's how we started creating our portfolio. I even remember one time I didn't have the funds to buy that property, and I was able to approach that seller and ask him to be my mortgage company. So he was financing my purchase during that time until we were able to pay it off. And from now on, we have multiple properties in there. But also, we talk with clients, or we represent clients that have purchased real estate, either like from builders directly, and that's a common scenario. Have you heard about, and I'm sure you have, about leasebacks?
Yes, I have.
Yes. I was personally worked with one of them that she loves to buy leasebacks. Why? Because the builder will be the best tenant during those 2-3 years, sometimes even longer, and while that property is acquiring equity. So that's a good way to create a real estate portfolio. How about you, Kathy? What can you tell us that you have experienced through your real estate career?
Well, we've had a few clients who start out with kind of fixer-uppers. We definitely know it's not for everyone, but for people who either have that skill or being able to fix up a house, or maybe have a little bit of cash to play with to fix up a house, and they buy it at a little bit of a lower cost, fix it up, and they sell it for a little bit more money, being able to walk away with some value and putting it into the next house to build some wealth for themselves.
Sometimes they start low by either, buying two properties, let's say a duplex, live in one, rent out the other one, until they're able to buy a full single family home and rent that one to another family. And from then they keep investing and investing. There's just so many ways that you can, invest in real estate. We talk about real estate, but there's so many ways that you can create wealth. So for us, it has been through real estate. So.
And a lot of the thought process is really the return on investment. Correct me if I'm wrong, Carol. Now, when we're looking on return on investment, we're really looking at how much are we spending and how much are we gaining. So you really want to get with the right professional to basically calculate those numbers for you.
Julia, you hit two great points: return on investment and the real estate professional. So one of the hot things happening right now in the real estate market are people looking to invest in Airbnbs. And anyone who's looking to invest in an Airbnb is looking for a big return on investment, right? Because that's why you get into investing.
Yes, you do.
And then the other part is the knowledge. So you hit on getting with the right real estate professional. So not everyone knows when you're looking to invest in Airbnbs, you can't do it everywhere. So getting with that local expert, they're going to help you navigate the challenges that come with purchasing your Airbnb to make sure that you're within the parameters of the local city that you're in, and with the company that you're going to list it with.
Oh boy, with all these topics of investments, we can go hours and hours because we cannot miss 1031 exchange. We're talking about investments because it's a great tool for all of our investors. Um, Capital gains is a very powerful tool where they can defer up to 100% of their capital gains as long as they utilize it to buy another property. So there's many great information in all of this that we have said. So there's many ways for you to start investing. The best way to do it is to get a hold of your local real estate expert and ask where to get started. So thank you so much for sharing all of your knowledge. I'm sure there's a lot of things that we left off as far as investing, but there will be a next time for sure.
For sure.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you so much for watching. We really hope this was a value to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. And we're going to leave their social media links on the description below. Thank you. See you next time.